Hi, I'm Dave, and I know wrestling. Do you want a wrestler that loves wrestling so much that he came as close as he possibly could to actually marrying it? Do you want a wrestler that wants to be Ric Flair so badly that he even grew himself a big nose? And do you want a wrestler who is groomed by his best buddies on the best way to ruin an entire wrestling company? Then allow me to introduce to you my client for Dave Knows Wrestling's honest promos, the king of self-interest, the game theory, triple asshole, Paul Levesque, or Triple H. Behold, the wrestler whose selfishness and refusal to put over newer deserving talent helped to serve as the final blow to the Attitude Era, and the Ruthless Aggression Era too, now come to think about it. Just look at Rob Van Dam, Chris Jericho, or Booker T. And even when he does manage to lose, he usually makes sure to mulligan the match by regaining the lead right back after collecting victories later on down the road. Just ask Shelton Benjamin, Randy Orton, or Brock Lesnar. Oh, but speaking of which, before Goldberg, Paul was actually the last man to get a decisive victory over Brock Lesnar. But then again, WWE would rather you forget the name Goldberg when you think about Paul. Because that way, you won't think about all the prime investments whose momentum they flush down the proverbial toilet just for the sake of nepotism. But hey, forget all that. Paul's put plenty of people over without collecting a pickup win afterwards. Don't you remember? He jobbed out at WrestleMania 22... you know what? Never mind. But while you're in the forgetting Paul matches mood, also forget about his WrestleMania 17 match with The Undertaker. Just remember 27 and 28. Oh, and also forget about the Hawk Pen match and the time he got squashed to the Ultimate Warrior. Oh, and that reminds me, just forget about the curtain call altogether. Especially because he was a complete nobody at the time and he should have been fired right then and there on the spot, faster than Terror Rising from WCW. Oh, and also forget about his relationship with Chyna. Instead, just remember when he was over with the crowd. You know, when he was the goofy suck it guy who could indicate his penis while spitting out water. Wait, you know what? He still spits water, and we'd rather our PG-era fanbase not know that he started doing that in order to simulate ejaculation. But at least it's clear from the symbolism that he knows he's a dick. You know, maybe I'm being too harsh. After all, Paul did give us NXT, even though he totally ripped that idea off from Shane. And under Paul's leadership, NXT lost over $30 million last year. Yeah, WWE's totally gonna be in great hands after Paul gets the company from Vince. But hey, chasing after other people's legacy is all Paul can do, which is why he also booked himself into winning 14 world titles. In order to be the man, you got to outbook the man. Woo! Just ask John Cena and Roman Reigns. In the end, if you want a wrestler who kayfabe, drugged, and married the woman that he would eventually shoot marry in real life, a wrestler who keeps getting injured by his own dumbass WrestleMania entrances, and a wrestler who has buried so much talent that they've actually made a meme out of it, then allow me to introduce to you my client for Dave Knows Wrestling's honest promos. He is the game, he is Triple H, and he's got a $2 slip for a wife, the doofus son-in-law, Stephanie's triple bitch, Paul Levesque. Seriously, his name is 3 H's. I know we're all just used to it by now, but why does nobody talk about how stupid this is? I mean, for real.